Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shar's Craft Haven. Let's wait a sec for you all to catch up. I see Camille is all by herself in good singing form in the chat. Um, Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. If you have questions while the live is going on, feel free to put them in the chat below. Today I'm going to be playing around with the F1 by xTool. It's a dual laser. It's got a 10-watt blue laser, and then it's got I think it's like 2.5 watts IR. IR lasers are a little wonky in how they talk about wattage. So it's got an IR laser as well. Today I'm going to be playing with getting material settings on some fun stuff. So a couple of days ago, my kids were super excited about the F1, and so we played around with some food. I don't advocate lasering and eating food, but do as you will. This is for instructional purposes only. So hopefully everybody has found the link all right, and we will get started. Again, if you have any questions about the F1, I've had a little bit of time, but I haven't done extensive stuff. I've done some work on metal. I actually found it really useful for a project, a commission I did for business on brushed aluminum, and so I couldn't get anything else to work on it, but the IR laser did a great job with that. So here we go. I'm gonna test out our cameras, make sure you all can see. Here is the design space. I've connected the laser via Wi-Fi. If you ever get disconnected, you can go in and set up the Wi-Fi here. I just did a firmware update, so hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. Some things I recommend anybody with a laser to have some trusty digital calipers. These were like $8, pretty cheap. Helps you find thickness for materials. I've got a shop vac that I use for cleaning up after my projects. If you got a big laser like the P2, I highly recommend you have a fire blanket and a laser safe fire extinguisher. Other things that are helpful, find a place that sells super cheap stuff to practice on. So there's a 99-cent store near me, Dollar Tree, sometimes Hobby Lobby. Find somewhere to have stuff to play with. Cheap stuff you don't care about. When you're starting a new material, make sure that you run test grids. I do little boxes to get your settings down so that you don't waste a lot of material. So you sacrifice a little bit of material to not waste a bunch of material later. Hey, Camille, welcome back. All right, it's 1 after, so we're gonna get going. First off, I'm gonna design something to engrave or score. So let's start with have fun lasering. All right. So in the design software, it gives you a few different options. So you can set the size, which right now it's way outside. So we're gonna knock that down. You can try different typefaces. I think that's a little fun. Spacing, you can change alignment. Let's try having this on 2 lines. And then all right, we'll put it there. I'm going to start with scoring, and I'm going to use my F1 tortilla settings. I played around a bit with with tortilla, got my settings in. So where is everyone? I am not quite sure. I know there's a lot of stuff going on for people. Since this isn't a P2 thing, it's possible there's less interest, but we will see as people join or don't join. I wasn't even sure. I wasn't sure that I was going to have this. We have a tropical storm coming our way, so I know various parts of the country have a heat wave right now. We're going to get tons and tons of rain starting in a few hours and going for a couple of days. They've said even like 1 to 2 inches an hour. So we expect to have some flooding. Yay! Yay for moving. So that'll be fun. But while there's internet, while there's time, let's laser some stuff. So here we have the F1. Hopefully you all can hear me. Let's start with a tortilla because that's super fun. There we go. How do we share? So at the top of my screen, there's a little share arrow. And it brings up a video link. So I'm not sure they'll let me put that in the chat, but if they do, you can share that way. All right. So it's important to have objects that are relatively flat and that you know the thickness of. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to basically put in the thickness. There's two ways of doing that. One is on this screen, I can just add the thickness in. So let me measure the thickness. So this tortilla is around 2 millimeters thick. So I can put in 2 millimeters right here, and then it'll adjust. I can also use a knob on the side, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. There's a knob right up there that I can actually twist to have it focus. So I know it's probably a little hard to see, but there's two dots. There's a red and a blue dot. If you don't have two dots, it is likely that you forgot to remove the safety cap. So it's important to remove the safety cap so you don't laser all on it. I'm gonna focus it so that both the dots are overlapping and make one little dot. We're gonna be using the blue laser for this. I tested the IR and it didn't quite show up. It's a white material, but it still seemed to laser fine. The settings I had for this tortilla was 100 power, 30 speed, and then I just did scoring to outline the material. Let me make that a little smaller. All right, and then when you do framing, it's really neat. There's options for framing. There's a rectangle and then an outline. So the outline looks really cool, and we're gonna, hopefully it'll show up on the camera, but it actually outlines the text. So you can see a couple of blurs from your perspective, but I can actually see the lettering on the tortilla. So it's actually tracing out the lettering on the tortilla. So that is a fine space for it. So we're gonna go ahead and close down our screen since it is a visible light spectrum laser. I'm going to make sure that that cover is down. I do have ventilation plugged in, and so it's going to kick on automatically and we're gonna see what happens. Again, if there is an issue on the left side of the machine, there's a red kill power button, but you can also press on the right side. You can pause by pressing the same button that's for focusing. So we're going to go ahead and press start, and then it's going to beep. And then all right, it was that fast. Gonna wait a couple seconds for the tortilla fumes to clear out. Let's see. Have fun laser. So in case it was hard to see, got have fun lasering on the tortilla. Hey monkey, thanks for joining us. I am lasering on random materials, showing the testing process. So we just did a tortilla. I think the next thing that would be fun to do is I am actually going to do I put a smile on this little, on a goldfish. I have not tested this one before, so we will see how the focus works on it and do the preview to see thickness. So it's about 10 millimeters thick. What's for dinner? Burnt tortillas. That's what's for dinner. All right, so I'm gonna. Whoa, that looks so cool. The laser light is illuminating it, making a. It looks like it's a nuclear glowing, a glowing cracker. Let's see. All right, had to prop it up a little bit. The fish was not laying in a good direction. So I'm gonna go back to my design. And this time it's gonna be 10 millimeters thick. And then we want, let's try a little, wow, that's big. Okay. We'll do like a little smile. Okay. Let's try to, it's smiley-ish. And then a circle for the eye. Let's see, my fish is facing to the left. So let's, again, I've not tested this, so you're gonna learn about material testing in the process of doing. All right, and then I'm just pressing escape after. All right, looks smile-ish. Maybe that's a little better. All right, and I'm going to be relying a lot on framing. So this is how it looks. We're going to go to framing. And again, I'm going to use outline framing. That might not work since these are lines, but we'll see what it looks like. And if not, I'll go back to rectangle framing. All right. Okay. I need to switch my fish around. There we go. But the framing is awesome. Then you're going to move the eye up a little bit. All right. Okay, and now for settings, so we're gonna stop framing. Just make sure that eye looks like it's in a good place. I think it needs a little more space between the two. Drop the smile down just a little bit. All right. And then what I tend to do when I'm doing material testing is I'll start with something super fast and then work down from there. So instead of lighting it on fire, I'm going to start with very quick, and if it doesn't make a line, that's fine. If I start super slow, then I burn the fish. And so we're gonna start with 200, and then I'll start with five power. All right, again, I got the thickness in there. I've framed it already. And I have to stop framing before it'll let me start. As always, very gently put this down. I don't want to knock my fishy over. And we will see how this goes. I'm excited. Okay. So it did it a tiny bit, but then the fan afterwards knocked it over. So I'm going to go back to framing. Reposition my goldfish. And put a little tape to keep it from flying. All right, so 5 left a little bit of a mark, but not much. So I'm gonna bump it up to 10. And then I'm gonna bump this down slightly to 150. Duct tape it. I use masking tape. I don't want to harm it. So here we go again. It's sent. All right, we're moving in the right direction. I can smell the cheddary. Gonna bump it up again. So we're gonna go for 20 and then 100. And this, it didn't move, so I'm not gonna frame it again. And let's do it again. All right, we're getting closer. I could see it that time. I think we're gonna drop this by half. We are almost there. Gotta get the fishiest smile. All right. All right, gonna do one more pass. I can see the smile. There we go. Got a little smile on the goldfish. I'll use the, there we go. Little smile on the goldfish. So, in case you need goldfish settings, my goldfish settings were scoring. 40 power, 25 speed, and 2 passes. And again, I don't know if you plan to do a lot of goldfish, but there's a button here that allows you to save your settings. So save a custom settings. I name them by the machine and then the material. So I'm going to say goldfish and then save. And it saves them by type as well. So if you have a, for example, a goldfish engraving setting, you can have it engrave and save that setting separately. So you need to pay a little bit of attention. If you accidentally click on cutting and you're wanting your scoring setting, you want to always double check your settings. But that is how you can save a custom setting. And we have again added a bit of smile to our little our goldfish friend. So that's fun. All right. Any questions about the F1? I'm not an expert by any means. I've done a few stuff. Yay for the pie. That's awesome. Any other questions before? Yeah, it is super cute. Any other questions before I go to another material or things you'd like to see from the F1? Blackberry pie. Yummy. Yeah, the vector tool. I don't do a ton of designing in XCS, but I know there's some fun things you can do with shapes and text, and so it is fun to do simple things and to have them turn out. So I wasn't quite sure if the fish would pull through, but it did. And there wasn't a ton of smoke, just a little puff and a nice cheddary smell. So if there aren't other thoughts, I'm going to move on to dun dun dun. Maybe you've seen a theme. I'm going to. My children are always stealing my snacks, and so I am going to put my name on an animal cracker. So, you know, when somebody asks, well, I didn't see your name on it. Well, this animal cracker is going to have my name on it. So that will be the next thing I'll try out. Settings for. Again, it's mostly flat, so I should be able to get a good even surface. RA2 Pro cable yet? Michelle's asking if I have an RA2 Pro cable. I have not found one in the box, and I got it when it first came out. So my guess is I'm gonna have to ask xTool to get one for the F1. I only saw a couple of cables in there, so I think that I'll have to contact them. I did a quick look earlier today, and I didn't see anything that looked like it would plug in. So this is a turtle, and we're gonna measure it like you do, the lovely calipers. So I'm just going to measure the space that I want my name to be on. So it's about 15 millimeters by, we'll say 20. And then the thickness is 7 millimeters. All right, so since we're targeting my children with this, I will say that it is dad's cookie. Gotta use exclamation mark. Kids can't read caps. All right, and then instead of using the point, we're gonna just go up here and we're gonna make sure to click this lock so that it doesn't get squished. It keeps the ratio, and then it is going to be 20 wide, and then that's 11. So we've got about 10. So we'll make this 9 tall. Something I found when doing little things, knowing the approximate coordinates for the middle helps to not have to like move things around a lot. And so, this will show you middle. When I have the corner piece in, knowing the coordinates makes it a lot easier if I'm changing designs to not have to move things around as much. There's a little corner piece that screws into the build plate. And so these XY positions can help a lot with that. All right, for framing, this time I'm going to use rectangle. And then I'm going to move my cracker. Oh, that is almost spot on already. Okay. That is super close. Gonna add this piece behind it just for bracing. So when the fan goes on after, it's not gonna blow it all over the place. Okay. Zoom in, man. How would you like me to zoom? Zoom in on the little camera. I can try and do that. I think that's what you're asking about. Oh, an XCS? Okay. Is that better? Can you see it better now? Okay, awesome. All right, I'm gonna use the blue light again. Let's start with goldfish settings, just for fun. Oftentimes material testing, if you start with something that you're already familiar with, can save some time. So we're gonna start with goldfish settings. We need to make sure that we change the thickness. So it was 7. Device is working. Okay, stop framing. Change this to 7 millimeters thick. Just for fun, I'm gonna look at the framing online. It's so fun. Okay. All right, and then we'll hit start. See how it goes. All right. That worked incredibly well. I was worried for a second. I was worried for a second that it was gonna combust, but that of the things I've done so far, that turned out really well. It did have a almost like a burnt graham cracker kind of smell. Um, but now this is Dad's cookie. Mmm. Yeah, it definitely has like a burnt, burnt almost like a burnt graham cracker or burnt like marshmallow kind of smell to it. So that is super fun. So that worked really well. So who knew that the settings would be similar? I think I'm gonna revisit the tortilla with the settings that I just did and see if that does better. Marshall Jinx. All right. So let's okay. And then let's do nacho. It's nacho tortilla stats. Nacho tortilla. All right. And this can be bigger, so let's make this 20. There we go. All right. We'll see how this works. We're gonna try the 40-25 too. Doing framing. Okay. It's big enough that, looks good. All right, and then we will give it a go. So a couple things. One, I didn't change the thickness, and two, I think the 40 is just too low. So our normal tortilla setting is 100. So I'm gonna try 125 and then 2. So let's try that out. All right. Mm. So with the goldfish, I did it both ways. Um, adjusting the knob with something so small, it's a little hard, especially with the goldfish, like the whole thing lit up. Um, so I did initially the tortilla I did with the knob, and then the other ones I measured. I tried doing the knob with the goldfish, but it didn't, it was hard to see because the whole thing lit up. Um, So I'm not sure what happened with my nacho. Didn't seem to send well. So let me try one more time. Okay, framing is good. Settings seem to be good. 125.2 output. Okay, let's try again. I'm not sure why it didn't work last time, but we will try again. There we go. So this is very clearly nacho tortilla. So again, for those playing at home, 2 millimeter thick tortilla, 100 power, 25 speed, 2 passes. And the second pass actually did a lot to add to the clarity of it. So you can see these are my settings before with 1 pass and then with 2 passes. Nacho tortilla. All right. Well, I have one more food item if you guys want me to try and engrave another food item, or we can go to regular materials. So, do we want another food item or do we want to go to boring stuff? What do you guys think? Food, yes. I'm not seeing anything. All right, more food. Here we go. So, we're going to go with a mini pancake. All right, this pancake is around, at the center, it's around 7 millimeters. So, pop that in. What should we put on the pancake? Anybody have any good ideas? Maybe like a man in the moon or any thoughts for what would be fun to put on a tortilla? Let me know. Otherwise, I'll choose something random. But when I say random, I mean it. Anything you guys want to see on a pancake? A patty of melted butter. All right. Okay. Any other ideas? Syrup, jack-o'-lantern. Okay. Let me see what I can pull up fast. 222. All right. So this isn't a paid ad, but a place I go a lot um, for the beginnings of ideas is the Noun Project. They have tons of really cool. Oh, this will work well. They have tons of really cool SVG stuff. If you buy a license, which is like $40 a year, you can use them for commercial things. All right. I think I found what we're gonna do. Let me pull up the software again. All right. Import. Scale it to the canvas. Okay. All right. I need to measure the thickness of our our working area on our pancake. So I'd say a good working area is about 30 by 30. It is slightly non-level. So I'm gonna shim the pancake, secure it for safety. All right. And what will we put on a pancake? Toast and butter, of course. All right, so gonna lock this together. 30 by 30. 30 is our large one, so we're gonna make it 30 by 26. So yes, we are indeed going to engrave toast on a pancake. All right, melted butter toast. Okay, let's start with our goldfish settings. I'm sorry, Michelle. All right, thanks for doing the good work. Keep in peace. All right, so we're gonna do outline framing. See what that looks like. Very important to center our toast on our pancake, like you do. And then make sure to change our thickness. Okay, and then we will give it a go. All right. Here we go. We have our toast and melted butter on our pancake. It's interesting what happened with the holes. Some of the laser actually went all the way through. So that was a little interesting. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So we got our neat little toast. Our toast on a pancake. The pancake might even be better trying to engrave it. So maybe I'll try that at some point. Yes, toast on pancake. It's like the breakfast turducken, right? Gotta have your buttered toast on your pancake. Wrapped around a goldfish. So, I think I've run out of food. Yes, I've exhausted. I'll do a side-by-side comparison. My fish versus goldfish fish. We'll see if you can see those. Here, I'll try the little camera, that might be easier. Who said you can't have fun with your food? All right. I know that Joe had asked about stamp settings. I don't know. Michelle, have you done stamp rubber with the F1? Or I think Michelle maybe left. So I'm gonna play around just a little bit. It's been a minute since we started. So I'm gonna play around with a couple of quote unquote real materials, and then we will call it time. So I think I will stay with the theme of small stuff, and I will engrave on a cube. So the material test kit came with some tiny little cubes. They look like they are 10 millimeters. But the idea that I had was to make a puzzle. So let's see, three more. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna arrange these. I think I will grab my little square. I don't know if you can see that. And the idea that I just had was to put these next to one another and engrave a piece that goes across them, or square rather. And then it's a little puzzle. So if I did this for all the sides, I could do different images on each side. Alright. I will use my little stop gap. Alright, so we've got 30 by 30, and it's 10 tall. Okay. I want to F1. Yeah, F1 is unique. I love how portable it is. It's really fun how well it travels. That is super exciting. All right, eagle, wolf. Let's go for dragon. Scale it. All right, so we got a neat dragon. We want it to be, we'll say like 28 tall. Oh, you're gonna have to 28 tall. And it's 13 wide, so we'll see how that looks on them. We'll see how it looks on it, and then we'll go from there. So we want Baltic birch scoring settings because they're birch-esque, and then we're gonna do outline framing and see how our arrangement. So it looks almost spot on. I'm actually gonna take away 3, just have it be on 6 of them. So I need to move it left maybe 2 millimeters. So let me do that. So we are at 57, so let's move it to 50, let's see, 55.5. Oh, too far. 55.5. All right, and then I'm gonna stop framing and start it again. See how that looks. It looks really good. I'm gonna move it just like 1 more millimeter. I also want to change the thickness to be 10. All right, so 1 more millimeter. So we're looking at 54.5. All right. Power 20, speed 200. One final look at framing. Looks great. And then we're going to do scoring. The blue light. I might need to bump this up. I feel like this setting might be for... Actually, I'm just going to bump it up. I think that might be my setting for the P2. So let's do 40 speed and 40 power. All right. Stopping framing. And we'll see how it looks. All right, I'm gonna try and move the camera over. It's a little blurry. I will do my best to hold it up. There we go. So then I can rearrange the other sides and do other images, and then it'll be a little puzzle for the kids where they can find the sides to create the creatures. So anyway, thanks to everybody who came. It was great spending a little bit of time with you all. If you have questions, feel free to write them in the comments. As always, like, subscribe. We're at 501 subscribers. I'd love by the end of the year to get to 1,000, just because. If you find yourself buying anything from xTool, I've got affiliate links in the description. It goes a long way to helping me carve out time each week to do fun things like that. Until next time, as always, have fun lasering.